Atlanta, live from K.L.P studios. Ever wonder what went down behind the scenes of our top stories?
Say what?
Then tune into What Had Happened Was, the only radio station that takes you straight to the source. From coast to coast, tune in now as we dive deep into the stories, the drama, and the moments that shape the culture with
The swanky one, new K.L.P.
And
with your girl, Evelyn LeTeshia.
Live, Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 radio stations, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Yeah, hey, I get it. I get it.
We're back, y'all. What you know about us?
What had happened was,
You tune back in.
Hey.
It's your girl,
what had happened
the
was,
one and only Evelyn LeTeshia, with my boy Kennedy Lucas Evelyn.
Boy, howdy.
And you are tuned in to the one, the only.
what had happened was,
Make sure you follow us at WHHW Radio 1 on Instagram.
what had happened was,
What Had Happened Was podcast on Facebook.
what had happened
And
was,
you can listen wherever you get your streaming services for.
Yeah.
Go ahead, y'all. Give it up for us one time.
Ladies and gentlemen,
what had happened was,
what it do? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to What Had
what
Happened
had happened was,
Of course, welcome back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. If you loved us last week, you guys got a beefy pod last week, so we hope y'all like it.
Y'all haven't heard our technical difficulties that
I know.
working out on air.
Yes, I know. These things, they happen. Sometimes I like it when we do things like, I don't, hopefully there's no more technical difficulties, but like when that stuff happens, we like to showcase that stuff live sometimes. So just let you know, this is a full-scale production.
Yeah.
But welcome to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Boy, howdy. I think I said this last week, but I'm going to say it again. Over 2,000 followers on our Instagram. So, again, join the What Had Happened Was crew on our follow list because we are growing. The followers are continuing to grow. We're posting and publishing snippets of the episode, and you get a little bit of behind the scenes of when we're outside of the microphone, outside the studio. We can show y'all what we got cooking up. So, you just got to follow the Instagram and our Facebook, and, of course, on the YouTube channel and all audio platforms you get your podcast from. Yeah. Of course, we're here. Got another grand episode for you. I'm one of your hosts, Boy Howdy, Kennedy Lucas here, and then to my right, there we go. Evelyn LeTeshia's here in the building.
Sugar?
We hope that you guys are ready for it. It's good to see you again, E.
It's good to be seen.
What going on? What's going on?
what had happened was,
So what had happened was things are coming up. First of all, I think I finally may have crossed my fingers. Still working on some details. Got my location for my short, Grandma's Hands. Yes. Yeah, y'all clap it up for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I had to put that one on the back burner for just a second because I didn't want to cast before I found my location. I didn't want to people traveling 2 or 3 states over. If, like, say we found a place in Greensboro and you're down here in Atlanta and I cast you, I didn't want to do that, so I didn't do the casting. But once I solidified this new location, which would be in South Carolina in the upstate, then I could start doing some casting, which is great because the pool of people right around that area that I know personally, there's some people that I definitely would want to hand pick since I know now that we may potentially be in South Carolina. But yeah, that's coming up. That's awesome. I said this in some episodes back. This year, May 26th of 2026 was my 20th reunion from graduating high school from Barnwell High School in Barnwell, South Carolina. Hey. And we are having our homecoming festivities and our reunion all in one in October. So we're still planning for that. Clemson, I'm going to homecoming this year. Yes, the last 2 years, I think I've been out of town, out of state. Like last year, I think my homegirl, her 40th, she was celebrating that up in Virginia. So I was up in Virginia, so I missed it. So I get to actually go this year. Try to play an alumni rugby game too, I guess, since I got that weekend open. Ooh,
yeah.
Y'all gonna go and I feel like that. Look, my lungs will be better by then. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. We got that, and then G-Ho going to North Carolina A&T homecoming on October 31st. My team will be out there with 1334 Productions. We'll be doing some Aggie Pride production, just pushing out and networking and stuff like that, which lets me let y'all know that if you go to my IG page, and I'll be posting other places, there's a link to our GoFundMe for Aggie Pride the movie. G-Ho is sold out. We got 2 tickets though that are reserved. So what we're doing is we're doing a raffle. For every $25 that you donate, your name gets put in the pot once. So if you donate $25, that's one time. If you donate $50, you get your name in there twice. You donate $100, your name goes in the pot 4 times. And this is up until October 1st. And then on the October 1st deadline, after that passes, on the 2nd, we'll be doing the drawing and stuff, and then we'll make those announcements soon after of who won the 2 tickets. So you got that opportunity, all that coming up. I just been still trying to be healthy, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a lot going on, but
That's
I'm enjoying my life. There's a lot of stuff going on around the world, in our nation, and stuff that just has me in a way, right? In a way of saying, those of you who are racist, bigoted people, I'm not the one you should try right now. That type thing, right? And also alerting other people, especially people of color, especially black people, especially women, to keep your head on a swivel. Make sure people know where you are, where you're traveling to. If it looks unfamiliar, if it feels funny, don't stop there. Don't go there, travel in groups together, because people have really started losing their mind, thinking that they can just harm people and get away with it. So my mind is a certain way, but I'm not the one that you should try. Ever.
Shots fired on that.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
But anyway, hold on. Shots fired.
Yeah.
Hold on. I got something.
Yeah, got something.
Shots fired. And if that one don't take you out.
Oh, I like that one.
I ain't meant to hit that one. That adds to the
that too.
Let me give you some sounds right
sounds
after
right now. Yeah.
But on your end of everything,
What had happened was
a lot of great things is happening. I guess the first thing, Guardians: A Link Between Time, 95% complete.
All right.
Of course, you guys know that is my next upcoming animated film. It's a superhero film, so it's my first ever. And of course, I'm playing the main villain, Nightmare, and we've got everybody's recorded their lines and stuff. We're just adding some finishing touches.
you got to give us some Nightmare, because you gave it to them.
Let's see. What's a script in there? Okay, this is my favorite one. Your worlds are futile. T-16, do you really think you can stop me? This is your nightmare.
All right,
You like it? So I'm playing Nightmare. So it's the voice, and then I'm using a system to make it deeper, because I need it a little deeper than what I could do with the thyroid thing. I can't go any deeper than that. But so I'm playing Nightmare in this movie, and it's 95% complete. I can't wait, because as soon as that's done, the trailer will be out, and then we are pitching to get it to Apple and to YouTube. Kind of like the same deal we did with Dear Isaiah, but we want to do it for this movie too. They just got to watch it and say yay or nay. So that's like, at that point, it's up to that part of distro. And we have, of course, anybody who knows, I do work at an institution. Going forward, if you know, but I won't bring up this college's name, because it's nothing bad. It's just, now that I'm in a different position there, I can't really speak on it on a separate podcast or entity. Like if this was a something college podcast, then definitely, right? Yeah. But this is not. This is what had happened was. I kind of have to be careful now that I'm full-time, a little bit more full-time with a different position title, and things are changing. You kind of have to be careful with.
So we're moving on now.
Yeah, we're moving up a little bit. You got to be careful. You can't, because people watch, and then conflict of interest, and there's a whole legal thing there. So that's going really, really, really well. Gosh, what else is going on in this month? I've got So I have been picked to do an interview.
Okay.
I'm going to a company. Shout out Miss Tanetta. She was also in Dear Isaiah. She got in contact with me with this agency that focuses on adoption. So I'm going to be going and doing some interviewing up there soon in the next few weeks, just to interview families and families that are in the adoption process. And there's going to be some behind the scenes that I'll post. I won't post like the full content stuff because they're paying for that, and they have rights to that. But I was able to negotiate a deal and say, hey, can I do like small behind the scenes for K.L.P Entertainment Film Works, because that's kind of like a business thing for us here. So that's coming up in the next few weeks. I'm excited to do that. I'm a little nervous because I'm the interviewer, so hopefully I'm asking the right questions.
You said adoption at first. I thought, hold on, you ain't talking about adoption?
No.
What's going on? We talking about puppies or we talking about kids?
Nah,
I know
kids.
about for a second.
Adoption kids.
Okay.
Families are adopting.
But you're just doing the interview.
I'm just interviewing.
Okay,
yeah,
you're not
doing
to,
all that.
Okay.
No, just to interview the family that's adopting, just to ask them how they feel about. I mean, there's more questions, but
I thought you was going to be a fall.
No.
Okay, gotcha.
No. I mean, I am an uncle though.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nadia and Niall and Nyla.
Oh.
So Tony's daughter had twins.
Oh,
the last few weeks.
congratulations.
Yeah. Hopefully they don't mind me talking about it on the show. I'm sure Nadia doesn't mind.
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope so. But
if they do, we're going to just do some magic and rewind it.
You
never heard it.
Yeah, I actually saw them a few days ago. I saw them and I was holding little baby Nyla. Dude, she was just so cute.
Aww.
And my mom was like, I was like, oh, don't, mama. But that's a blessing in disguise. One more thing too, and I said it last week, and I want to say it again this week because I had a lot of people reach out and say congratulations to Bronze Lands Film Festival. Dear Isaiah is first and foremost. Dear Isaiah is getting ready to come on Tubi in September, so I'm really, really excited for that. To a lot of people, and I said this last week, it's not bad. I don't take it as bad news, right? But we won't be screening at Bronze Land Festival because the movie has already been out on Apple TV and YouTube TV and getting ready for Tubi in September. So I'm not able to screen or go to the film festival. We kind of disqualified because of that reason. Mm-hmm. But rest assured that when it comes down to Tubi, we are planning on traveling to Texas in September to do some promo. We're going to be doing some two radio stations and a conference about sickle cell awareness, and we're going to be showing the movies there too. So even though Bronze Lens is a huge festival here in Atlanta, we're kind of just shifting the gear because we believe in the project, and we've got just a bigger mission that we're trying to accomplish with that movie. Not to say that Bronze Lens Festival is not a great festival. It's an amazing festival. We just have to kind of shift a little bit. But that's what's been going on with me the last week. A lot of great news. A lot of great things are coming up. A lot of great things are coming up with just everything. And working out. I got my Dragon Ball Z shirt. Just got some muscles popping just a little bit, And I'm a nerd too, because Dragon Ball Z, it's one of my favorite shirts. So.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Speaking of favorites.
Yeah.
What had happened was...
What if one of your favorite church members, the drummer, the one that keeps you on tempo, the one that when you in the pulpit and you hooping and you hollering and you shouting and you preaching the word, what if one of your favorite people that you see them walking and you drive past them and wave? Mm-hmm. That's exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. So Demi TV on Facebook says a church drummer is going viral after publicly calling out his pastor for allegedly driving past him while he was walking more than a mile from the church and simply waving instead of offering him a ride. Said according to the drummer, he was walking to church after he was unable to reach the church van driver. With more than a mile still left to walk, he noticed his pastor approaching in his vehicle and assumed he would stop. Instead, the drummer claims the pastor waved at him and kept driving. Frustrated, the drummer took to the situation to social media, questioning how a pastor could preach about compassion, fellowship, and helping others while knowingly leaving one of his own church musicians walking the rest of the way to service. So the pastor, however, defended his actions and reportedly responded, "I'm not a chauffeur." He could have called the church van. The drummer pushed back, explaining that calling the van was exactly what he had attempted to do, but couldn't get in contact with the driver. The situation quickly divided social media. Some argued that regardless of whether the pastor was technically obligated to give him a ride, basic kindness should have made stopping an easy decision, especially with the drummer still more than a mile away. Others defended the pastor, saying church members sometimes place unrealistic expectation on spiritual leaders and that pastors shouldn't automatically be responsible for everyone's transportation. However, much of the criticism eventually turned toward the drummer. Many urged him to delete the post, arguing that even if his feelings were justified, publicly airing an internal disagreement unnecessarily embarrassed the pastor and cast the entire church in a negative light. One user even commented, "If you wouldn't expect T.D. Jakes to give you a ride, don't expect your pastor to give you a ride." Now people are debating something much bigger than a ride. Was it simply a pastor exercising a reasonable boundary, or did driving past someone headed to serve at your own church reveal something about the very compassion being preached from the pulpit? See, I got several thoughts on this one. Yes.
Oh, I can't.
So,
I can't wait.
First of all, this is why I tell people you cannot put people on a pedestal. There are some people that treat these pastors like they are God themselves. Someone, that last one, would you ask T.D. Jakes for a ride? Hell yeah. If I'm walking and you passing by, I don't care if you're T.D. Jakes. If I go to your church and I'm playing for I'm your drummer, yes, I'm going to ask you for a ride. That in itself, that comment alone tells me how you hold certain people in esteem over others. Right. Like, you got T.D. Jakes up here like he's this God, and you saying that his pastor more locally, if you wouldn't ask him, why would you ask? Like, no. Quit putting people on a pedestal. Because before you are a pastor, you are a human being. Human being first. Who could have shown compassion. You knew he was your drummer of the church. You knew where he was walking to. 2 seconds to stop and say, hey, hop on in. Yeah. Right? Now, because had the young man not found the ride to church and didn't come, the first thing y'all would have been on, where you at? Church about to start. Where
we
you
need
at?
a drummer.
I ain't had no ride, couldn't call the church. The van wasn't picking up. Yeah. Oh, you need to find a ride. We need you here. Y'all would have did everything in y'all's might to figure out why he's not at the church if he didn't show up. But you drive past him, and you can make the argument and say, well, maybe he just don't pick up people. Like, if this was somebody he didn't know, and some random just walking, I probably wave too. Like, hey, But I have stopped and give strangers a ride, especially depending on what their need looks like. Yeah. Like, I literally was driving one day and I saw what looked like a grandmother, and she had 2 small kids with her carrying a buttload of groceries. Yeah. And so I said, hey man, it was just starting to drizzle. And I said, hey, where you headed? And she said, my house about another few blocks down. I said, y'all get in. And I dropped them off at the house, right? Yeah. One night I was driving from the gas station, and I was probably like maybe 3 or 4 minutes to my house, and I passed by this car, and I could see it was a black man, and he was, because it was getting dark, but it wasn't jet dark yet. Oh, okay. And clearly he was, he had a gas tank. He was starting to walk, like he either ran out of gas or something. And I was almost to my house. I could have just kept going, and I just turned around. I said, "Everything okay?" He said, yeah. He said, I'm out of gas. I just need to get to the gas station and get some gas, whatever. And I said, okay. I said, I can take you to the gas station. The gas station was right there. Like, maybe for him, the walk would have been like another 20 minutes probably. For me to get there by car was like another 4 minutes. Like, I could get there a lot faster, so I gave him a ride. Best to believe, in either situation, in either case, that my hand was on my Glock. Yeah. So you couldn't see my hand on my Glock, but the hand was on the Glock. So you try to the nuck if you buck if you want. I'm a nuck and you gonna buck and we gonna be nucking and bucking. But I get it right. So it's and that came off of an intuition feeling too. Yeah. If I felt like something about him don't feel right, I would have never stopped. Yeah. I would have never even turned around. Right. But for you to see this young man that play drums in your church
every Sunday or even every Wednesday,
and this ain't like he was at the church entrance, right? Like where you turn in and park. Yeah. He's over a mile. He's a mile away. You know where he's heading. Why would you not stop? Yeah. Right? Now, I do agree that the young man shouldn't have aired it out on social media, especially if, in which I don't know if this happened or not. If you hadn't gone to the pastor and shared your grievance with him personally, then I wouldn't have put it on, went to social media right away. Like, it's one thing if I go to you and I say, well, Pastor, you saw me walking. Why didn't you stop to help give me a ride? And if you gave me all that, I ain't no chauffeur. Then maybe I probably would put a little bit out there. I ain't gonna lie. Right. But then there's probably an older version of me too, where I'm like, oh, you being petty. Well, let me show you what petty can look like.
Especially
with
today.
Petty with facts. Yeah. Facts is you saw me walking and you didn't pick me up, and you told me you you're not a chauffeur. Mm-hmm. Like, right? Mm-hmm. But I questioned whether or not the young man actually went to talk to the pastor about it first before posting it on social media. Yeah. But the fact that he did post it, you would think that even if it embarrassed the pastor, his comment wouldn't be, well, he should have called I'm not a chauffeur. And the young man, I did call the church van.
Yeah, no one picked up.
So now, if I was the drummer, next time I call that church van, I can't get nobody. Mm-hmm. Y'all won't have a drummer that Sunday. Yeah. Since you ain't a chauffeur and nobody can come get me, y'all won't have a drummer.
Yeah, I stay at home.
Because this is another thing that baffles me is that some of these churches, they'll do everything to put all this money in these pastors' pocket. They drive Rolls Royce, this and that. But your very people that are working in the ministries in your church don't even have transportation. Yeah, they got a church van, but what happens when they can't get a church van or the church van is full or whatever? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, there was nothing wrong with that pastor who could have stopped and gave him a ride. And I'm going to read some of the comments here.
Yeah, it could have took 2 seconds, too.
2 seconds. And y'all about a mile away. Beverly Alexander says, why is this a debate? The pastor should have stopped, period. Yeah. It's a musician for his church. Duh, why would you not stop? Yolanda Powell says, he's a drummer at your church. He's assisting a great deal in building your vision. He is not a stranger. He is your church drummer, a vital part of the music ministry, which is a vital part of the ministry as a whole. I'm a theater producer and director, and if I see any of my cast or crew members walking anywhere, I'm going to tell them to get in the car, period. Tony Buchanan says, in quotes, I'm not a chauffeur. She said, and Jesus wasn't a caterer, but he still fed 5,000. Hey. Girl, you better, come on, you better hit him with Bibles.
Yeah, she cooked with that one.
Jacob Holt said, here's the thing. This pastor clearly knew who the drummer was. Yeah. He wasn't just some random. And as a drummer myself, church musicians should always get priority access to the pastor. At the end of the day, they back up the pastor. He said, in closing, pastor, quote, I'm not a chauffeur. Church, we're not your personal ATM. Delisha Cookie Hawkins says, a good shepherd wouldn't leave his flock. Joe Hodge said, I would have been playing all kinds of secular drum beats during service, ushering in the spirit of Twerk Franklin all up and through there. LOL. Not Twerk Franklin. and Sherry Gilmore said the same. I said, yes, I would expect T.D. Jakes to give me a ride. What sets the pastor apart from being kind? Yeah. Why is position, title, and gifting even a part of the scenario? It's just nice to be nice. Kindness goes a long way. Courtney Colvin says they would have been having old school church stumping and clapping because I would have went back home. Child.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't put pastors on a higher pedestal than.
Child. And these are the last three I read. But Pamela White says Matthew 25:40-45. Truly I tell you, whatever you do for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Katrina Evans, the pastor would have preached a sermon on how cold people are nowadays if it was the drummer that passed him up and waved at him. Sure would have made it a whole sermon. Sometimes you're going to be on your way to your destiny and people going to pass you by. Sometimes you're going to be almost there, making it. Somebody going to wave and smile in your face when they could have gave her a helping hand. That's going to be the path.
That sounds like
they going to come up with some sermon if it was done to them, right? And Shelley Barber said, this is outright ridiculous. The pastor should have offered his drummer a ride. There have been numerous times we as pastors have extended our vehicles to pick up and take home members. That's one of the reasons you are blessed to be a blessing and show compassion to someone in need. Child. Yeah, couldn't have been me.
Couldn't have been me
Couldn't
either.
have been me.
Nah, couldn't have been.
Because even if I had made it all the way to church as a drummer, I'm not playing today. I need to sit in here to work. I need to go in the back and repent about all the things I said about you before I came here on this walk. Yeah. I also need to like I need my face down on the altar today because the stuff I want to do, I'm trying my best to stay in God. And it ain't gonna help me playing your drums today. Cause I might throw a stick at you. Yeah. So, I ain't playing today. I'm good.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
What would you have done?
I would have stopped because, I think this goes to people having different morales. Like my morale, even if, because I've had it to where when I'm filming, if I'm on a film crew, I drove somebody or have somebody ride in my car if we're going to production together. Now, of course, now that my job title, now I can't like drive students. I can't do that. But like with the helping hand of your drummer, who is honestly, arguably, between the guitarist and the pianist, your drummer is really the hardest working musician, because you got to think about it. The drummer doesn't have one instrument. The drummer has, let's see.
It just depends on how big their kit is.
Yeah, depending on how big their kit is. They're operating about 8 machines at one time. And it's like, because the drummer at my church, that man is moving, sweating bullets, right? So I would have stopped and gave that young man a ride to church, right? I think it's folks not having good morale. And I won't judge about the pastor because, I don't like to judge, but like you're put on this higher pressure, this higher stoop because you think he's not worthy to drive in your car, right? When you could have been a helping hand, right? I would have stopped, and I think we got to start putting pastors, and I've seen it too, pastors are getting put on this higher pedestal, and that's why you have like Drewski and all them like mimicking that stuff, because this stuff does happen, right? Yeah. Now, there are some pastors that are humble, and they would offer rides, and they know that, they're the pastor, they're administrating the sermon, but they're also a human being at the end of the day. And I think everybody, with my morale, even if I'm out and about, I don't think I'm above it, nobody. Yeah. Definitely don't think I'm above God. So.
Well, someone else, this is a different, interesting take. Kim Lynn, a Bright Eye, says, he should have taken the church van and Uber or a family member. This young man could have later stated that the pastor is grooming him. Professional boundaries is a must in this world, right? I can agree to a certain extent.
Me too.
Because I do think that sometimes clergymen, pastors, they are targeted. Yeah. Right? Here's my thing. Your character precedes yourself. Yeah, it does. If you are not groomed, if you're not grooming young people or young men, right? And somebody makes this allegation against you, they have to prove that. Meanwhile, if you haven't been doing any of that to anyone, there's no other witnesses or victims that can come forward and say, hey, he did it to me too, if you're not already doing that. And while you're saying, oh, well, he could have said this, that's when you use your spirit of discernment. If I feel like somebody may try to do it, I'm going to make sure my phone is recording the whole time you're in my car, right? Yeah. And they're like a mile away. You're talking about in the car for at least 4 or 5 minutes. And if you're going straight to the church, but I get it. I get it. Some people do come up against people and try to accuse them of all kinds of stuff. Yeah. And yes, that's professional, the boundaries. But what part of your professionalism says, oh, I see a member who plays for me, who is out here walking.
It's hot outside.
It's hot. 9 times out of 10, he got on his church clothes. Yeah. So you want him to show up sweaty, tired, exhausted, and play a whole service for you. And it ain't like you're going to get up there and do 10 minutes of preaching. No. Y'all probably been to church till late afternoon. Because, black church be lasting all day long. And you expect him to play for the offerings. You expect him to play for altar call. While you preaching, backing you up. The benediction. All of that stuff. Like, I'm like, and even, what if he did call the church van and he did call Uber? What if Uber and Lyft and all that kind of stuff is not in his service area? Just because they exist don't mean they're everywhere where people need them. Like, especially the more rural the place is, Yep. So I just think,
it's hey, look, it's morale. People ain't got that morale. That's the way I see it. Like say, hey, you need a ride, man? Come on. Only time I couldn't, and I'm being funny at this point. The only time I couldn't ride if I'm biking it. Like I ain't got no room for you. But car, come on. Yeah, I got you.
Well, speaking of chauffeuring,
what had happened was,
let's talk about Olivia Miles. How she be being chauffeuring the ball into the basket. That girl is a bad. Look, somebody had posted something and said Olivia Miles is one of the greatest players you're gonna ever see. I was like, she can't beat me. And then I said she trash. She ain't good. And I like put a little dots on down. And I was like, and then I woke up. That girl, she is a freaking force, like amazing. People are comparing her to Magic Johnson and how he was with the ball and movement and had eyes spread across the floor where he could see people. That's how I play sports. I don't know what it is, but the first thing I got to tell people when I get to play basketball is even when I play flag football and I'm doing quarterback, I was like, do not bank on the fact that because I'm not looking at you that I don't see you. Right. I said, I absolutely see you. I said, but I know how to draw people away from you and to make passes that they'll never see coming. And because that's the kind of person I am. Olivia does that. When I tell you those passes she been making, the other girls, they don't even know where the ball went. Yeah. Like, she is that good. She's explosive to the rim. Great defense. Like, the girl's good. She's good. What are your thoughts on her?
So, I've seen glimpse of her. Sadly, I haven't followed too much of WNBA yet because I've been preoccupied.
Well, she just made some history.
But I love it. Yeah. I love that. First and foremost, I love that WNBA is getting. I mean, they've been getting their shine the last few years, yes. But like they're getting that shine and that push, right? And to see that this young lady's doing something, and I say young just for pod reasons, she probably but
she is a young lady.
That young lady
like
is
she's
doing something.
She's literally a rookie that just got out of college like last year.
Okay, so I can say that I had to be careful because I was like, ooh, I don't want to, just see that she's doing some amazing things. She's gonna have a very long career in WNBA. I think she's a beast. I think she's a monster.
If she does not get Rookie of the Year, that's gonna be a riot. Yes, that's gonna be a huge disappointment. It's gonna be baffling because she's making history as a rookie. She just reached 600 points and 150 assists in the fastest player. Olivia Miles becomes the fastest player to reach 600 points and 150 assists in the WNBA history. So she doesn't get Rookie of the Year, baby. I don't know what to tell you.
Riots are happening.
And just steady going. She's so cool, calm, and collected, and laid back.
She looked so cool. Like you would just want to hang out with her. Yeah. I wonder if she's a gamer. She looked like she's a gamer too. Maybe. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to get off topic, but these things I wonder.
And then just to talk about the WNBA in general, we got to talk about the historic game that happened the other night between the Aces, the Las Vegas Aces, and the Indiana Fever. First of all, Indiana was leading most of the whole game, right? At one point, I think the Aces may have gotten out by like 15 or 20, and they came back. And at the end of regulation, Chelsea Gray hit a game winner to take them into overtime. I'm trying to get to where I'm gonna get to that point so you can hear it. Here you go. So Chelsea Gray hits the shot at the end of the game to tie the game up 75-75. They go into overtime. Right? The game is at this point neck and neck. Yeah. Goes in overtime. There are about 12 seconds left on the clock in overtime. Caitlin Clark brings the ball down for the Fever, and she's on a one-on-one with Asia Wilson. Why Caitlin Clark didn't just try to dribble the ball out or keep, because it was only 12 seconds, trying to, matter of fact, it's 11.7 seconds I'm looking at right now, and the score was the Aces had 83, the Fever had 84. That's the score. So at best, you're trying to keep them from getting the ball and scoring.
Yep.
Or if you have to shoot the ball on the Fever team, you want to hit at least, you want to make at least one shot, so that it'll be put up to 85. Well, you want to try to get a 3 if to win it, or at least be able to tie it. She decides on Asia Wilson. Think about how tall Asia Wilson is.
She's tall.
Tried to throw a pass, and Asia stopped it. Right? Not only she tipped it up, and Caitlin Clark grabbed her jersey, so she's got her arm extended on. And Asia, there's still shots of all this. So I don't know why Caitlin Clark's fans try to act like Asia Wilson just pushed her down. That's not what happened.
Right.
But she tipped the ball up, and as her hands are up like this, you got the still shot of Caitlin with her jersey pulling Asia. Yeah. And so as she got one hand up, and so as Asia goes to put her other hand up to go grab for it, Caitlin's arm is still extended. So she goes up, and that's when it's hooked in there. So she's just, Asia's more powerful. So when she jumps up to grab her 2 hands, Caitlin goes like she gets flung back.
Yeah.
Then the ball goes down court, and you hear this is the second set.
Shot clock off. 3 seconds. Chelsea Gray for 3. Yes, ma'am! Are you kidding me? She does it again.
Chelsea Gray.
She did it again.
Chelsea Gray hits the game-winning shot overtime to send them over the top, 86-84, defeating the Fever. Now, this is my gripe with Caitlin Clark.
Oh, here we go. Because weeks ago.
This is
cry. Oh.
Yeah, I ain't gonna cuss. But, let me get my. Okay, had to get it out of my system. So, Caitlin Clark, I don't despise or dislike her as a person. Yeah. I don't know her, right? I can't speak on her as a person personally. Mm-hmm. Now, when I see her interact with kids and stuff, she always seems very warm and stuff like that. So, as a person, I'm not commenting on her as a person. As a player, however, trash. She is a one-way player. And by one way, she may get some stops here and there on defense, but the majority of the time that she plays offense only. And had she been my teammate back in the day, and I'm a preface this with saying I've never had to do this to any of my teammates, but I would have been on your club in the back in the locker room. I would have been on your club because you're not going to keep playing offense every time we come on the court. You ready to shoot, you ready to dribble, and then if you get hit or a little foul, everybody else done ran back. And the other team is coming back on offense, we on defense, and they got a 5-on-4 situation because you still on the other end just getting off the floor. Because you've been crying to the ref and doing it. Yeah. You would have been got yoked up by me. Because I'm sick and tired of running back and forth on a 5-on-4 when you leaving us out to dry. Right. Like, I coached for the problem and got told off in the most disrespectful way ever I could do without having to, do any curse words. But, why is she in the game playing, and you keep putting she keeps putting us in these 5-on-4 situations because she's not playing defense. Yep. I don't care if you think you got fouled or not. I don't know where it started with these current group of women, and we see a lot in Caitlin specifically, where every time you get hit, every time something happens, you stop it and you talk to the ref, and the game is still in play. You can play. We don't have time for you. I'm coach. You play until you hear a whistle. Yeah. So if you get knocked down, you get your ass, unless you really really hurt. You get your ass in a sprint down there because you're leaving your teammates in a vulnerable position.
She walked on that.
When Chelsea Gray hit that game-winning shot in overtime, they were in a 5-on-4 situation. So the person that stepped up to guard her at first, she stepped up, and if you watch, she stepped up and she had to step back because she knew in her mind, Caitlin's still down. There's somebody who's probably open. So she don't even know she can play Chelsea Gray fully because if she does, there's somebody open. Because Caitlin's still on that end of the court. Right. So she stuttered step, she stepped, and then she stepped back. And that little step back that she did off of Chelsea was just enough so Chelsea was wide open. Whoop. Lights out. But I can't stand people like that. That's why even if I go play pickup ball, anything, if we hustling on defense, and we pounding it out and run up and down. We getting the ball, and every time we come on the court and we pass it to you, trying to get something in transition. Right. And all you doing is wanting to shoot on offense. I'm gonna quit throwing you the ball. Yeah.
I would.
You gonna get iced out by the rest of us.
Yeah.
You ain't getting the ball no more. Since all you want to do is play offense, see how you can play offense without the ball.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, even though it was seconds later and Chelsea Gray's going to make that shot, at least sprint and then try to support. Because it's like, to me, it seems like Caitlin Clark kind of gave up, right?
Which is all. Part of it is I don't think she's necessarily given up.
Yeah.
In the sense of like, oh, I just give up. I think she's doing what she's always been doing, but it's being exposed in the WNBA.
Oh, I see.
Because I was like, I said, before I comment on her, I want to go back and watch some of her games and stuff.
Right.
Because to be honest, I didn't really start watching her with Iowa until the year they played that championship.
Yeah. Oh, I think I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
So I really didn't.
Yeah.
So I said, let me go back because I want to give a fair assessment, right? And what I saw was a lot of times when they played, a lot of plays were set up for her to get the ball and shoot.
Yeah.
Because that girl is a dagger.
Yeah.
I wouldn't leave her open at half court. Cause she got a long. She has a long range shot. She be shooting. Ooh, that was some lightning. She be shooting from way back there, almost at half court. There's nothing saying that she can't shoot. The girl is bad when it comes to shooting. But like when I went back and watched a lot of her games, she didn't really have to play a whole lot of defense. Because she's shooting lights out. Like, you put your team up by so many points.
Right.
You know?
So now she's getting used to defense.
Yeah, and now, and also, when you're playing in college, these girls are on these teams, because the WNBA has not had, like, a large number of teams, rosters, a lot of people end up getting cut. So by the time you're in the WNBA, you know that is the best of the best of the best. Meaning... They kept those people and somebody else got cut.
Right.
That couldn't hold the candle to this person right here in this spot. So when she's in college, I think that talent was more spread out. So she wasn't used to playing teams where everybody on the other team is on 10 when they're doing defense. Yeah. So she's never really had to be like in isolation one-on-ones with somebody that was just that great. They're a well-rounded player all around. Right. But now you're forced to play against these girls, and the game is a much faster pace than what you were playing in college. Right. Because everybody's running and gunning. Yep. And not only that, they can play. So every time you see her in a one-on-one situation, first thing I can tell you by memory what's going to happen. She's going to be dribbling. They're going to lock in on her. She's going to push off. She's going to use her arm. She's going to be dribbling her, and she's going to pick it up. She's going to be looking, and she can't get nothing. And she's going to try to throw it up, and she's going to fall back. And what's crazy is just a few weeks ago, she was talking about, remember we talked about how she said, oh, someone need me, a contusion, and then they showed a video, and ain't nobody touch you, right? Yeah. In the still shots from this game with the Fever versus the Aces, when they went up for the ball, her knee went right into Asia Wilson's thigh. Like, it's on camera. Yeah, you ain't seen Asia get in no, I'm going to have a contusion there. You ain't seen Asia fall on the floor and all that kind of stuff. And you think that don't hurt? But you play into the whistle.
Yeah.
But yeah, should have been got yoked up by me in the back somewhere. Because ain't no way you still out here playing and creating all these 5-on-4 situations.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you ain't hustling back.
Yeah, and it was a home game for them, so losing in your home field too.
Yeah, the look on Aaliyah Boston's face was like, I know you effing lying.
Yeah.
Like, I know you effing lying. Like, but Chelsea Gray made history as well in the WNBA to be the first player in the league's history to hit a buzzer beating shot. Yeah. For to send a regulation game into overtime and to hit the buzzer beater shot to win the overtime. Twice. So and she's the first one in the WNBA. Baby, history. Baby. Now, and they just released, and I shared this recently. They just released the team that's going to be playing for the FIFA World Sports. And Caitlin Clark is on there with a whole lot of more women who are announced. And I really hope they do not start her. And it has nothing, again, this is nothing personal against her as a person. It's as a player. She cannot play defense. And for those of you who be like, oh, well, she gets steals and she gets, you should be doing that. Yeah. But like, for the most part, the reason why other teams capitalize because she cannot play defense on a one-on-one, for one. She plays defense completely flat-footed. Every game I watch her, I automatically know she's about to get blown past. because she's standing flat foot. And when you stand in flat foot, you have no way to really pivot fast or push off on that pivot foot. Yeah. So you're going to get beat to the block every time because you're standing flat footed. And I'm just like, girl, I wouldn't want her on my team. Not playing like that. Not playing like that. And for all her fans, which a lot of them are not true fans, they just started joining because they saw this woman as the great white hope that's going to make white people look good in basketball. Because y'all, she's not the first white player that can ball. Now when you got Paige. Now when you got what's the other one?
One of my favorites.
One of them was on the team with Caitlin.
Sophia Canaan?
Sophia. You got other white women that's in the league, that's been in the league for years. I mean, beast of players. Yeah. Right? And somehow they were balling, and none of their fans made it about race. But now you got Caitlin, and y'all thought she was going to come in and just be this phenom that no one is better than her and stuff. And the records are proving that to be not true. Mm-hmm. And so I say this, if you think that the league is being racist towards Caitlin Clark,
I beg to differ.
I would tell Caitlin to leave the WNBA, see if it falls. Like, see if it, because we watching all these girls balling. Like, you are not the face of the WNBA. First of all, Asia Wilson is. Anybody think any different? Wilson, you're crazy to think different, right? But if y'all think that the black women in the WNBA are being racist and purposely trying to hurt Caitlin Clark, tell Caitlin Clark to leave the WNBA. In fact, tell her to go overseas and play, right? And not just overseas. Go play with a team that got real ballers. I ain't talking about, this country has a women's team, but they really can't compete on a national stage. I want you to go somewhere where they got real ballers that really give the U.S. women's team some difficulty when we got the Olympics. Go to one of them teams and see how she fares playing against teams like that. It is not black women treating her a certain way. It is not the league trying to downplay her greatness. She is just not as great as y'all think she is. She's great, but she's not as great as y'all think she is. She's a one-way player. She does not play defense effectively, and it is hurting her team. Mm-hmm. It is hurting her team greatly. And I know Aaliyah Boston is getting fed up. Her face said it all. And it's like, what the... Like, why would you even try to make that pass over Asia Wilson?
Asia Wilson, you can't do it.
At best, you should have ball faked, got her off her feet, then made a bounce pass. We're talking about fundamentals now. Get her off her feet and then try to make a bounce pass, or either then go up, because as she's coming down and you go up, you can draw the foul. And then Caitlin even admitted they would have more of an opportunity. She missed 2 free throws near the end of the game. So for them to lose 86-84, they would have at least been tied for another overtime had you made your free throws. Yeah. But that's who y'all see as the face of...
And she's on the cover of the video game.
The face of the WNBA that loses a clutch game like that and misses free throws. Like, I was like, woe is me. Nobody knows.
Shout out to the Aces, though. One of my favorite teams.
Shout out to them.
We love it.
Yeah.
We love it.
We were talking about school and stuff earlier about, Olivia Miles is coming out. And
what had happened was...
Yeah.
So this was a thing that came off of Tracy Fant from Facebook. It said a school cafeteria worker is at the center of a heated debate after reportedly losing her job over acts of kindness. It says, according to reports, Denise Whitmarsh, 61, was fired after school officials said she violated district policies by setting aside untouched food and bringing snacks she purchased with her own money for students she believed might otherwise go hungry over the weekend. Supporters say Denise saw children in need and acted from the heart, putting their well-being above anything and everything else. It says others argue that the school must enforce food safety, inventory, and liability policies consistently, regardless of good intentions. This story raises a difficult question. Should compassion be rewarded even when it breaks the rules? Or should policies always come first? There may have been alternatives such as additional training, a warning, creating and approved programs to help students experiencing food insecurity instead of immediate termination. What do you think? Says she'd never been fired. She had received a warning instead. The school made the right decision by enforcing its policies. Please keep discussion respectful and all that kind of stuff. It says hunger among children is a serious issue, and it's possible to have different opinions while still showing compassion for everyone involved. I do not think she should have been fired. That's number one. So either. Out the gate, I don't think she should have been fired. My dad told me this a few years ago, and I didn't know this. We were talking about something, and my dad didn't grow up rich or they were what we would say financially poor, not poor in the sense of love and community and stuff like that, but my grandparents were not wealthy like that. Like I said somewhere, what my dad was like maybe 17, like around 1985 when he was about to graduate high school, before they had any running water in the house. Like the house that they stayed in didn't even have bathroom; they were still using like an outhouse and there's a pump and all that kind of stuff. And then they finally got in like a single wide trailer or whatever that had running water and all that kind of stuff. Which Shannon Sharp talks about that a lot, like how when he stayed with his grandparents, you know, they were poor and didn't have running water and stuff. Like a lot of people can tell you from rural towns that's how they grew up. Right. But me and my dad was having a conversation a few years back, and I don't know how it came up, but he told me that there was a lady in the cafeteria that worked there, and that she knew my grandmother had 5 sons. My dad's the baby, right? And that she would send them home with a box of like leftover stuff, you know, so they could eat. Yeah. So this hits close to home, you know, that this particular lady was trying to look out for kids she didn't think would have enough food. Now my grandparents garden, and my grandmother grew all their food and stuff like that, and they had chicken and stuff like that, but it's different when you're waiting on stuff to grow versus your kids are hungry right now and you need the food, right? That's true. So I thought that was a great gesture. Now, of course, during this day and age, you have to think about a lot of the kids have a whole lot more food allergies and stuff like that. They do. But you would think that in 2026, all these kids, when they get their lunches during the day, they got to go through the school line, right? They check off their name or scan their bag, whatever. There should be something in their system that comes up to say if they have any food allergies. So some people say, you know, you shouldn't be able to do this because what if the kids have food allergies and stuff like that? Who knows what her process was? Maybe the kids that she identified that need help, maybe she knew what their allergies was. Right. She set the stuff aside. Unless she has been a repeat problem, I don't think termination should have been the first thing that happened. Yeah. You know?
How the way I would have done it, first of all, she shouldn't have not been terminated because it's we talk about it. Actually, she had good morale and good intentions at heart. How the way I would have structured it if I was her manager, if it's for now, if she was feeding adults, that might have been a different thing. But now she's just trying to feed students and kids. So how the way I would have structure it is, if we knew that she was doing this, I would say, hey, you're not in trouble. Can you identify these kids that might have food insecurity? Let's work on a program to where we could, I guess we're legally do this. Yeah. Get to know their allergies, and then we'll kind of do this on, I don't want to say under the table, but quietly, so that way it doesn't spark attention, right? Because, like you said, food insecurity is tough for kids. And especially now in today's times where things are expensive, things are more higher than normal, and parents need a lot of help. You know, I wish there was more programs of this nature to help kids with food insecurity. And then people will argue, well, the policy is the policy, sure, but you're talking about these kids who can't go and get their own food, right? So you're going to have these young kids just starving. I think that should have been the plan from the lunch lady and her bosses or her managers. Like, let's come up with a plan to make sure that every kid is not left behind. Every kid has something to eat. And it's unfair, but it is a cruel world we live in, and people don't care about kids nowadays.
And the Post didn't say whether or not this is a one-time thing that she just decided to do it that one time and she got caught, or if this is an ongoing thing that happened. If it's been ongoing and then finally they decided to terminate her because I guess they found out, that means somebody told. Yeah. Right? True. And I'm like, who would have a heart?
Yeah, that's diabolical.
to take money out of to take food out of kids' mouths that you're trying to feed. That's somebody who's either jealous or they got a vendetta against you. And for her, I would say she needs to watch her back.
Yeah.
Whoever she was around at school, or the kids who were taking the food home. Yeah. If it was a jealous parent that's having it out with their significant other, and they thought
that does happen too. So, parents be like, "Hey, I can feed my kid. I don't need help because it's the pride."
Well, not even that. That pride, but I'm talking about like, say, the baby mama is bitter, or the baby dad is bitter, and the kids come home with food and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, somebody send you money? Okay, I bet I got it. I got it. Then you go tell the school. Yeah. Like off of some petty bitterness type stuff, right?
Yeah. That sucks.
But I would say, like, if you're the type of person that would go and snitch on somebody for trying to feed kids, right? For untouched food, and it said out of her own pocket, she went and got other stuff. Like, and I do stuff like this. Like, I had to tell somebody before, I get called, especially when big production companies come to South Carolina a lot, right? Yeah. Depending on where they are, I get to work. I'm usually like a production assistant locally because I know where everything is, blah, blah. So when I see big companies, I'll go and staff me up where I can find production jobs. And most times, if I want to do some production assistant work, but don't want to travel all the way down to Georgia or all the way to North Carolina, stuff like that, they got something in Greenville, and these people are coming in from out of town. I always put a note, I am local, and I know all my way around. So I end up getting hired a lot. And a lot of these companies that come in, most of their crew and stuff are flown in. Meaning, by the time I get there, as a production assistant, I'm usually the one that going out to the store, buying all the food, crafting, going to pick up lunch and all that kind of stuff, right? And they, a lot of times, will overspend. Right. Like, so they say, okay, get all of this, blah, blah, and I come back with a spread of stuff, right? And then when the day is over with, they're like, well, I said, well, what do you want me to do with all this stuff that's left over? It's like bags of chips. Oh, you can just trash it.
Food waste.
Like, a lot of food waste goes,
too much
happens on these not so much on independent work, because independent, there's not a company that's funding them. They come out of pocket and they have to really budget. Right. But for the ones that have these big backings from companies and stuff, that's a drop in the bucket for them. They don't care. They're like, oh, and they'll even say, well, we got to catch a plane to go back to California, or we're going back to New York, so we're not taking all this stuff with us. So what I usually would do is I'll tell the cast, the crew, I say, hey, anybody else want any chips, drinks, sodas, whatever, last call. And I'll let them get what they're going to take, because some of them may take a snack or two to go on the plane. But still, even after that, there's usually a lot of stuff left over. So I always ask them, I said, do you mind if I keep this and give it out to homeless people locally? And they're like, oh, yeah, you can keep it. One of the things I did, I was a production assistant, and we had all this crafty, and we had Jimmy John's. Ooh, okay. Like 6 or 7 trays of sub sandwiches. Yeah. By the time we finished, our crew had to be like 50 people. Right. And so it was a big crew. By the time we finished doing that commercial shoot at this factory on that day, we still had 2 boxes left. Full boxes left. Sandwiches, yeah. And so I asked, I said, can I take some? Yeah, because we're just going to toss it. Like, we can't take it, we're on a plane, whatever. And so one thing I did, this place that we were at, the facility we were at, it was a real lockdown type facility. So we had to have the security guard, like, had to let us in and out of this little turnstile type thing. Right. And so I made sure, I said, hey, you working a night shift? And he's like, yeah. I said, is anybody else working with you? She said, well, I got one person coming in. I said, come over here, get you 2 sandwiches, some chips, stuff. Yeah. So I made sure I fed them. Oh. So I left out. But I still had enough. So when I got home, I was able to put a sandwich in each bag, two things of chips, 2 20-ounce bottles of water, 3 Chewy bars, some Ritz crackers, like really a bag. And I was able to do 20 of those. Wow. Now, is it the most nutritional value stuff? No. But for somebody who probably haven't eaten in 2 days, and some random black woman ride up and said, would you like something to eat? And they said yes. And I handed to and the most grateful people ever. Yeah. And I'm there's 20 people I just fed where all this was gonna get trashed. And that's just not for one production job that I do. I've been doing this now for the last 4 or 5 years. When I know that they say, oh, you throw all this stuff, I said, okay, bet. I got some appliances, like one of the companies I had worked for, who was this? the end of last year. No, it was this year. I was working at a basketball game for the tournament, and after we finished, there's usually like a Keurig or whatever because the crew loves to drink coffee and hot chocolate and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I washed it out, cleaned it out, put it back in the box. And when I got to pack it on the truck for them to take it, the lady that I was under, my supervisor, I was working for that, she said, "Do you have a Keurig?" I said, "Yeah, yes and no." I said, "I got 2 minis and they're upstairs in my guest room for my guests." Yeah. And she said, "Oh, well, you take that one." I said, "You don't want to pack shit up." "I'm not taking that shit. I got to get on a plane and it's just going to get lost in the back of the truck somewhere and probably broken." I said, "Oh, okay." So I got a brand new Keurig, and it is not a mini. It's the brand new purchase in 2026 that I did not pay for. Like, I was like, "Yeah, I'll take it."
Yeah, sure.
So, like, you know, I understand her wanting to help children. I'm like, but to be fired
just to have compassion and to feed kids, that's unsettling. It's sad.
Yeah. But there's lots of comments. Like I said, one person, Chanty Krell, says, "I love her heart and efforts, but logistically, you have to be careful when giving kids outside food, not because of them, but because of their parents and caregivers." It says, "They may want to sue if the child gets sick. Should she have been fired? No. Then figure out how to address the situation next. Backpack Blessings has always been a great initiative," which I agree.
Yeah, like programs. Yeah. Okay. That's what I would do.
Shannon Jones Fuller says, "Wow, this is the kind of world we live in, where kindness equals punishment. Yeah. My advice to her is to never grow weary of doing good. For her goodness will return to her a just reward. Also,
I agree
with a heart that big, God has a greater calling on her life to serve beyond a school cafeteria. Amen. One small door closes while something greater is awaiting beyond another. I'm praying for her greater." I would say with that and with all the eyes on her right now, what I would do if I was her is start a nonprofit. That's what I would do. Where people who have events, where they have unopened food that was just purchased and or has a long shelf life, whatever, that they can donate, and she can start a program that specifically she can partner with schools to identify those students who be at food access and risk, and she have her own company and she can take donations and stuff like that. Cause get that lady her job back.
Yeah, I know.
And I wouldn't even give her that exact job. I would make, since there's other things you could have done besides firing her first, I would have created positions specifically, since she's already been identifying students that may go hungry, let her be in charge of that, and that be what she does.
Because some people, like her, she has a good eye for that, noticing students with food insecurity. A lot of people, either their radar sucks and they don't know how to identify, or they just don't care, right? That's the unfortunate part, that they don't care. But again, this is the world we live in. A lot of people just don't care. Yeah. But for her to identify students with food insecurity right off the bat, that should be a title in itself. Yeah. Plus a nice salary. And
you can always tell sometimes too with the kids, if you pay enough close to, that lets you know how much she cares about these children. First of all, that she's that attentive. Because you know how many kids come through that cafeteria during the day when she's working. Yeah. For her to even notice, and I would notice it. Because I notice things like, as soon as that child gets their tray, they sit down and they go to eating real fast because they're afraid somebody's going to take it from them. Yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah. That type of stuff gives you a glimpse of either food is being taken from them by other students, or they don't know when the next meal is coming. And so, or they didn't get a meal yesterday after they left school, so they haven't eaten anything since 3-something or 12 the day before. Now who we are a whole 24 hours later, they are starving. So I look at stuff like that. I look at when they're eating, if they're like cutting things in tiny, tiny pieces because they're trying to eat just a little bit so they can save the rest and take with them. Those are things like that. Like some students will like, I said, you gonna eat your food? I need to save some for later. I've had a baby tell me that before because I was a teacher cadet in high school. I had preschoolers, but like other kids got used to seeing me too. Like so, and I also did PE. 3rd and 4th grade, so like they'll see me in the cafeteria. But like there's things you start to see that kids do that you pick up on that. Yeah, you notice it. Or you notice that they've worn that same shirt 3 days in a row. Yeah. So they may not have access to either clean water or somebody that has time to even pick out their clothes. They're just letting them go to school. However, they're just trying to make sure they're showing up so that no one comes and take the child. But you start to notice that kind of stuff. But I don't think she should have been fired. she should get her job back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know one thing. Kennedy better not ever try to fire me from my job.
Nope.
Because I'm going to be the button pusher forever.
Yeah, you are. Yes, you are.
That's all we got.
That's all we got. Hey.
What had happened was,
But if you are somebody who's going through something and you need somebody to feed your baby,
what had happened
reach
was,
out. People in your community are willing to help.
what had happened was,
Don't let your pride be the reason why your babies go hungry.
what had happened was,
And in the meantime, you can follow us at WHHW Radio 1 on Instagram.
what had happened
What
was,
Happened Was podcast on Facebook. I'm your girl, Evelyn LeTeshia. What Kennedy Lucas.
Boy, howdy.
Make sure you tune in next time.
what had happened was,
But we give you the realest, the latest.
what had happened was,
All in one.
Made it.